So welcome back to my channel. This is Dom and a quick update on some of the painting projects I've been working on. So cracking on with a few more ships. Haven't been going quite as crazy because, as I think I said in one of my earlier videos, kind of ran out of steam a bit with these. Not that they're great models, because they are, but they're just fiddly buggers. And plus I've done a lot. I don't really need an awful lot more. That said, I've got a lot more. So this guy, one of the, I think I got this one, was one of the sprues I got on War Games Illustrated. It's a frigate, a Warlord's frigate, and I think, if I remember rightly, I was given a couple at the club. I bought a couple of magazines, so I ended up with quite a few of them. So I've decked this one out as a Swedish frigate. As I mentioned before on my channel, I have a bit of a penchant for those sort of smaller, niche countries in wars, particularly in the Napoleonic Wars. Sweden is a country that really interests me, just because of the amazing history. Just if you ever want to read an interesting story, look at the story of Bernadotte, the French marshal who became King of France, and whose ancestry still can be traced to the Swedish royalty now. Fascinating story. Anyway, so by the by, so I finished off this guy. He's decked out. You can't really tell, but he's I've painted him like the Swedish Baltic fleet was painted as, though they had white lower hull, black stripe, and then brown the rest of the ship. I quite like the way he's come out. I've also done this guy. This is a metal ship. Whoops, let's take that one out of the way first of all. There you go. This is a metal ship. I found a manufacturer online in Germany who does 1/700th. Well, I think they're 1/700th. My German isn't brilliant, but it appears so. Naval ships, and they were actually really cheap. This was something like €3 for this ship. It's all metal, and I just thought that's perfect as a. I can't remember what this was actually supposed to be, but I'm basically going to make this one of my merchantmen. So I've got the British maritime, whatever, mercantile flag on it, just to denote that. So that was that done. So at the same time, from the same company, I picked up a couple of smaller ships. So again, not really sure. Well, the three smaller ones here, and I've got a fourth here which I haven't put the sail on yet. The four small ones are supposed to be gunboats, and I just thought they'd be fun. I mean, they were literally €1 each, 130 or something each. So I thought, well, that's fine. So I've got those to go in the box, and then these guys, I think they're supposed to be schooners. Slightly bigger, but not quite as big as the brig. So you can see there's a frigate up against that lot. I'm on a Facebook page where the creator of the Black Sails rule system is trialing a scenario, campaign scenario. And a lot of it is focused on smaller ships, brigs, and frigate is the biggest ship basically you're likely to use in it. Lots of gunboats and schooners and that sort of thing. So I thought it'd be fun to do. And if I think Jonathan at my club has just bought the rules, so I thought, well, once he's up to speed, we might do a little mini campaign using those rules, and these sort of little ships will be useful. But as I say, this whole collection, plus I got a couple of these bigger ones for the merchants, were, you know, probably €20 for the whole bunch, which I thought was extremely good value. And they're nice. They are metal cast figures. They actually are made from some sort of alloy. Really nice indeed. So they're all done. Just got a few flags to do. I've got sails to do on these. Still not happy with the way the sails are sitting. I might take those off and just put something different on. I was trying to use the sails that I've got from Warlords because I quite like the effect of them, but they're not quite sitting on the masts properly. So I don't know. I'll have a fiddle around with that. But you know, they're looking good, so I'm pleased with how that's come through. So despite my best efforts to buy out Warfare and also buy some stuff in the Black Friday sales that are already starting, I've continued to paint from some of the backlog of figures in my collection. This one really pleased with. This came out beautifully. This you may recognise if you play Black Powder. It was given away when you bought Black Powder 2, the new updated rules. It's Jack Thingy from Master and Commander. And it's a really, really nice little figure, and I've had it kicking around in the box for ages, and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to paint it up. I think I might use him as an officer in my shot practice army. I've actually got a small company, platoon, whatever, of British Marines, and he'd be an ideal officer to lead them, wouldn't he? So yeah, really pleased how he's come out. It's a beautiful, beautiful figure. Really, really well. You know, even an average painter like me could do a reasonably good job just painting it up, because it was such a nice figure. And that's the difference. When you've got a decent figure, it does make things a lot easier, doesn't it? So one of the very first videos I did on this channel was me unboxing. Whoops, it's too close. Unboxing this SAGA Saxon warband 4-point for SAGA, which I bought about this time last year from Gripping Beast. They were doing quite a good discount on their SAGA armies. Oops, just realised there's a figure missing. And I've had this kit, or had this box of Saxons for ages, and it was bad timing really, because pretty soon afterwards the Age of Magic came out, so we all started to play SAGA Age of Magic rather than the regular SAGA, and I think we overplayed SAGA because we seem to have gone through a hiatus with SAGA. Not that it's not a great system, but it does take some brain power to work out for a poor old person like me. So anyway, I thought, well, oops, sorry, dropped that box. I thought, well, at least I'll paint up the figures. Bear in mind, I'm trying to clear some of the backlog. So these are the Saxon Hearthguard figures, I think. Really, really nice from Gripping Beast. Really pleased with the modelling. I've got some of these in my other 25mm Ancient collection, or Dark Age collection, so I knew they were really nice figures anyway. Yeah, really pleased with these fellas, and painted them up, and they look pretty good, I think, as a unit. I say probably you'd use them as two lots of 4 points. Sorry, 2 4-man units of 1 point out of your 4-point SAGA army, because they're quite expensive but very efficient. Obviously, lots of armour, and they carry these little buckler shields, but in SAGA that doesn't really matter. A shield is a shield is a shield. Well, armour value is an armour value is an armour value. But I'm pleased how they've come out. Also sneakily in the middle here is, I think this was another footsore figure that they gave away when you spend a certain amount of money. Again, it was just sitting there. I can't even remember. I think it might be a Carolinian figure. Not entirely sure. But I thought, well, it's sitting there, so I'll paint it up. So jobs are good and they're done. Yeah, pleased with that. Pleased to get them out the way. And there's the hero plus his champion for that SAGA Saxon army. Yeah, again, I think Gripping Beast basically gave this extra figure when you bought this pack. So I'm not sure whether he fits with this. He's more of a Viking rather than a Saxon, but I just thought he's a nice figure, and I'll put him where he's intoning the gods, while the warlord in front is showing off his mortal enemy's head to inspire his troops. So quite pleased with how they've come out. So that's the Hearthguard done and the warlord done. So next up, one of the warrior groups. So next up, 8 of the 16 warriors that you get in the box. So the 4 points, I guess, is made up of 2 units of 8 warriors, which are these fellas. Well, one of the 8 is here, and then 2 units of 4 Hearthguard plus the warlord, who in SAGA is free. Again, Gripping Beast figures, again, really nicely modelled. Similar kind of poses, to be honest, probably the same sort of basic model as the Hearthguard, but these guys obviously have no armour, whereas the Hearthguard have armour. But really nice figures, really pleased how they've come out. Pleased to get them off the deck, so to speak. Need to just finish up the basing on them. A couple of little touch-up bits. These are brand newly varnished, so they're not quite finished. I can see a couple of, there's a hairband there that isn't showing up quite as well on this guy's plat at the back, so I just need to have a look at that. I have to say, doing these videos and looking at the footage back afterwards, and particularly having them under a strong light like this with the camera, I noticed those little imperfections that possibly I wouldn't have otherwise noticed, or chosen not to notice. So I look back at them, I go, oh, I just noticed that. And so I'll actually go back and touch the figures up just slightly. So it's kind of useful in many, many ways. Love this guy with his waistcoat on. I think he's really cool. Oh, sorry, not showing him. Look at the camera, Dom. Yeah, he's got a sort of waistcoat on. It's really nice, like that figure. Anyway, so that's that lot done. So then there's another 8 coming right up. So here's the other 8 of the Saxon warriors from that 4-point gripping beast pack. I'm quite pleased how these have come out. Again, used a lot of contrast on them, predominantly contrast paints on them, just because they're so much easier to use. Although I have to say, I have twice knocked over pots of contrast paint, and at nearly £5 a pop, that's frustrating the hell out of me. I'm going to have to be a bit more careful about how I use them. Mind you, my workspace here is a little bit cluttered, so I think that would help if I cleared it up. But yeah, really quite pleased with how these have come out. Again, got those shield transfers from Little Big Man, whatever they are. Really nice animated figures. So I've just got, at the same time I bought that 4-point pack, which is now painted up, I bought enough bowmen to make a levy unit to go with the army. So I'll paint them up as well, but then that is another one off the backlog. So talking about backlog, these are seriously backlogged figures. These are some figures I bought a long time ago. This is the manufacturer. I saw this when I was going back through my back pile of figures, looking at what I should paint next, and I found these longbowmen. These are from Rebellion range, from Obob Miniatures. Manufacturer I'm not really terribly aware of. I remember seeing them a long time ago and buying them and thinking they'd be really nice, and I bought some Mongol cavalry that they did at the same time. They're true 25mm. Now that company's still going. I had a look on their website and they're still there. In fact, these archers are still available, although these ones are on slot bases and the ones they're now selling have got the normal pudding bases. But I found the packet. Let me try and show this without showing the address. There we go. Oops. No, that didn't work. There we go. The packet that they came in. The date there, 2008. So I've had these 11 years and not got around to painting them. So I'm quite pleased to actually get them. There's another 8 to do, but I've painted them up just as sort of standard English longbowmen with the white surcoats and the little red crosses on the breast there. So, and they're okay. I'm not sure whether I'll hold on to them or not. As I've mentioned before, I am thinking about doing a medieval army. Well, they're thinking about it. I am doing a medieval army because I'm getting a Kickstarter through at some point with a whole load of things from the guy from Footsore. So I may keep these to go with that army, or I might sell these off. I don't know. We'll see. But I was quite pleased just to get them done. And the fact they've sat in my pile since 2008 is disgraceful, frankly. But finally, at least half of them are done. So another 8 to be done, which will be done in the next few days, hopefully. So finally, and I feel slightly nervous showing this one off. Well, I feel a bit of a fraud showing this one off, shall we say. This is, well, it's one of the Warlord self-propelled German Flak Panzer IV Wirbelwind models, 28mm. So the reason why I feel a bit of a fraud is I was planning to show this off because, again, it's from my pile of backlog. I hadn't got around to, I think I bought this when I was up in up at Warlord's headquarters when they were was up for the D-Day event, and I bought it there. And so I made it up, and it's a lovely, easy model. It's a resin model, very straightforward, and yeah, resin and bit of metal in there, but it's absolutely very simple to put together. Just my kind of model. So I'm feeling a bit of a fraud because I did this, and then I thought, oh, I'll show it as the last thing on the video. And then I saw one of my long-term subscribers, Joachim from Germany. I think it's Germany. You have to tell me, Joachim. I assume you're German. But anyway, he posted a video of his heavy tank hunter group with anti-aircraft and infantry support diorama, which features one of these things. And he's a proper model maker. Absolutely proper model maker. Get a chance. Jorama Modobao. I probably butchered that as the title. I'll try and put a link up to his channel. Well worth looking out, because he is a brilliant modeler and painter. And the diorama he did showing off his, he had a couple of Jag Panthers and one of these whirlwinds. And I think there's a half track there as well, but it's absolutely in a forest scene. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And so I thought, I can't really show off my whirlwind because it's nothing compared to his. But he's a modeler. I'm a gamer who paints up things to get on the table. But there you go. So at least he's finished. He's part. I think I pretty much now have everything I could possibly want for my German bolt action armies. Just need to play them more often. People seem to have fallen out of love with it a bit at the club at the moment. So, although I have got a game coming up in a couple of weeks for probably my Hungarians for the first time, so I'm really looking forward to that. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much all I've been working on. I've almost finished a couple more frigates. There we go. I think not far off them being done. Just need to do a bit more varnishing, touching up and what have you, but they'll almost be done. And they're going to join the Swedish Army, Swedish Navy. They're painted up like the other one I showed you, with Swedish Baltic Fleet colours. And then I think I'm pretty much done on my Black Seas. And I'm going to probably launch into the ECW project that I talked about. So looking forward to that immensely. So I hope you enjoyed this quick look at what I'm working on, or what I've been working on in the last couple of weeks. I'm quite pleased with the progress I've made on a number of projects. Quite pleased with the backlog I've cleared, which is kind of lucky because, as you've seen from some of my videos, I've ended up buying more stuff. So comes in one side, goes out the other. Anyway. Hope you enjoy your games, whatever you're playing, whatever you're doing, whether you're modelling, gaming, just having a laugh. That's the main thing. Life's too short. You've got to have some fun in it. And I hope you're having fun. And I'll see you again soon. This is Dom, signing out.